Justin, there are so many questions that would-be electric vehicle buyers have. Where do I charge it? How do I charge it? How far can I get? One question that's worth bringing up is how long do the batteries actually last? There's so many interesting kind of ways to navigate this question in this story, but let's just kick it off there. What's the answer? How long do electric car batteries last?
Well, too long didn't read. Roughly 200 to 500,000 miles for a 2022 EV. But stick with us because the details matter. Now, I want to emphasize that replacing an EV battery outside of warranty is really expensive. I'm not going to sugarcoat this aspect of EV ownership for anyone. In 2022, you're looking at between $12,000 and $20,000 to replace an EV battery outside of warranty. Now, this is why EV automakers are offering really generous warranties, because they know that the public is a little bit cautious with these batteries, right? But let's see what we've learned from the past decade and a half of electric vehicles driving on American roads, shall we?
I would like to learn from you. Go ahead.
Okay, so Elon Musk, Tesla CEO, doer of all things, he says that Tesla's batteries are expected to last between 300 and 500,000 miles. Now, That is just what he says, right? Well, there are plenty of Tesla Model S and Model X vehicles on the road today that are still running on their original battery and are well past the 200,000 mile marker. So we know, mostly from Teslas, that this is possible, especially with the more advanced battery chemistries that Tesla has invested lots and lots of R&D money in. It's been proven true. Now, other battery technologies are in the works, including the brand new 4680 cell, which has somewhat of a different chemistry that apparently will allow that battery technology to go 1,000,000 miles. There's no way to prove that now. It's been proven in the lab, which, by the way, Tesla's laboratory partnerships have resulted in a battery that goes 4 million miles on a charge, and they say could last 100 years, but that's all in the lab right now. So let's talk about what the real world EVs are experiencing. And right now, it's roughly 200,000 to 500,000 miles on a battery.
Want to know who the good dealer is in your neighborhood? Go to joinyaa.com and check out our crowdsourced dealer reviews. All of our community members coming together to help one another.
Wow, that's more than honestly I was thinking, just sitting here expecting you to say something like 100 to 200,000 miles on it. Now, one question I have, Justin, is battery health, because doesn't that degrade over time? And isn't that also predicated on how someone charges their vehicle? Like if someone uses a fast charger every single day, won't that degrade battery health and how long that battery can run versus just charging at home?
It depends on the battery chemistry, because we talk a lot about GM's new Ultium battery platform, and recently one of GM's engineers, Tim Grew, he said, he went out on a limb and said that the Ultium battery platform is not going to be subject to the kinds of limitations that even Tesla battery packs are subject to, such as fast charging too much, or charging to 0 too often, or charging to 100% too often. Those kinds of battery charging habits can actually negatively impact your battery's health. But there are new chemistries coming to market this year and next year that are going to be somewhat safer for EV buyers who are concerned about these types of things. Another example, Tesla's own LFP lithium iron phosphate battery pack that is in the standard range Model 3. You can charge to 100% with no worries with the LFP battery chemistry. So here we are, automotive world, and we're talking about chemistry.
Well, yeah, I mean, as we move towards new powertrains, I won't be surprised if we have a lot of chemistry conversations for the foreseeable future. So if I'm a potential first-time EV buyer, I really shouldn't be concerned, even if I want to own my vehicle for a decade, unless I'm driving, like 30,000 miles a year, I really shouldn't be concerned. I mean, obviously, we've got another video that we've done about battery warranties, who has the best, who has the worst. Most of them range from 8 to 10 years on the battery, or around 8 years, correct, on the battery?
Yeah. Now, I think it is worth talking about briefly. So even the Chevy Bolt, which has probably the worst reputation in EV world, Chevy Bolt batteries, if they haven't caught on fire pre-recall, they were making it about 150,000 to 250,000 miles. But let's say you're thinking about buying one now. You're not thinking about the Chevy Bolt from 5 years ago. Warranties matter. They do matter. It's peace of mind that you will not regret having once you're nearing that 100,000 mile point in your vehicle's life. So the best EV warranties, they're going to be 8 years, 100,000 miles. Even Rivian with their premium electric truck, they're offering 8 years or 175,000 miles. Now, Hyundai and Kia, they're known for their 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. That's partly why the Ioniq 5 and EV6 are so popular. But the industry standard is roughly 8 years, 100,000 miles. You're going to see that for Ford, Lucid, Polestar, Volkswagen, Volvo, Audi, even the Chevy Bolt.
Now, regardless if you own an EV or not, we should mention we're actually running a promotion right now back at YAA. $150 off if you buy an extended warranty or vehicle service contract from us. We now finally, Justin, have that available in the state of California. And yes, it does even cover electric vehicles. Get a quote from us. We make $500, but while we're running this promotion during the month of July, we make $350. So take advantage of that. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal.
It's a good deal.
Now, Justin, I want to bring it back for a second. I don't need to be worried about this if I'm buying an electric vehicle. And the reason I'm harping on this is I had a friend recently reach out to me. Her car, unfortunately, was totaled, and she was asking me, should I get an electric vehicle? And she lives in an apartment complex, and there's some challenges there with charging and whatnot. She's like, I've just got so many questions. This is not one of them. Do not worry about if that battery is actually going to last or not. You should be A-okay. I do wonder, however, with vehicle-to-load charging coming out in some of the newer models, I wonder if that's going to impact or implicate battery capabilities down the line as well. But who knows? Again, like you said, it's going to be more chemistry conversations, which I'm certainly not qualified to lead.
Yeah, and I mean, those of us who are trying out vehicle to load, we're just rolling experiments, and we have to live with that.
For sure. Well, Justin, thanks for sharing this with us. Super interesting information, as always.
Thank you, Zach.